the pajamas had a feather boa on them,
Oh, cute.
well, yeah, cute. It doesn't do anything for me. But anyway, try not to be crazy. If you do a good job and you're not just a fucking lunatic, you can actually keep the job and you'll get a raise.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Loni Love, Emmy-winning talk show host, comedian, actress, and author. And you are?
I'm Erica Montalvo, writer, showrunner, and your super fun sidekick.
That's right, Erica. And thank you all for joining us for another episode. So excited to be back for another week. For today's grown-ass topic, we'll be talking with our friend, Kathy Griffin, about financial independence, something that all grown women know about, right?
We need to know about it.
We should. But let's check in with our girl, Erica. Erica, what's on your mind?
I'm feeling salty.
Why are you feeling salty, Erica?
We could just look at your Instagram where you were at a very fabulous party this week with Kathy at her fabulous house in Malibu, which she paid for in cash, which you guys will hear about because she's financially sound. But who?
Yeah, don't give it all away.
But I won't. But I'll give this away. Who was not at the party? Yeah, girl. Like what? Where was my invite? I mean, I thought Kathy and I bonded.
You guys have bonded, and she loves you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what happened. We after the interview, because I've been knowing Kathy for years, she texted me. She said, "Hey, Loni, I'm having a special dinner for Ralph Funches," which Ralph Funches is a good friend of mine. She said it's for 12 people. I have only one seat left. So would you please come? Because she's trying to do a little demo for I guess a dinner with Kathy or whatever. Because there was only one seat. Of course, if there was more than one seat, I would have said, "Hey, can you invite Erica too?" But she was specific, there's only. And then I realized she was filming something. So we just didn't have room for you, Pumpkin, but we'll go out to lunch with her.
First of all, we exchanged numbers, as you know,
Yep.
And I was thinking we were going to be friends. Me, her.
You guys are friends.
Me, you, her, and Cher. And
you
then,
wouldn't have been able to go anyway, Erica, because you're working.
That's true.
Okay?
This job is getting in the way of my social life. That's the problem. Working is a problem.
You want me to turn down an invite because you got to work? No, it's not happening. I'm working for us. I'm working for us, okay?
All right.
So,
I'm just saying, I'm very skinny. I could have sat on your lap or shared a chair with you.
You would have been late. And that was the one thing. She does not. She was now we have this email thing that we text each other. And she's like, be there sharp, 6:00. Don't be late. So she was because she wanted to make sure that what she was doing was going to help, our friend Ron. So
I get that. Kathy doesn't play, that's for sure.
You'll be there next time. No, she does not play, and that's the reason why I'm so excited for everyone to hear our interview with her. She was very revealing and very honest about being a grown woman who at one point was almost canceled. So we're going to hear about that. And she was just honest and transparent. So you guys will hear about that. But other than you not being invited, what else is going on with you?
Listen, I'm still trying to downsize from my palatial mansion to my small 1-bedroom but fancy apartment. So I'm Marie. Marie Kondo. You know who that is?
Yes.
The woman who's like, only keep things that bring you joy. So I'm trying to go through my clothes and find the clothes that bring me joy that I can fit from my 3-bedroom house to my 1-bedroom apartment. And I will say it's very difficult because I have a lot of clothes.
Yes, it is.
Literally, again, my story, but for those of you who don't know, I'm recently divorced. Well, not recently, before COVID, but the house that I was living in, I was living with my husband. So as time went on, every place that he was, the closet, when his clothes were gone, then I put my clothes at the other side of the closet. And his office, when he was gone, I put more clothes in his office. Everything became a closet. Everywhere he was became a closet.
No wonder he left. Oh,
No,
God.
he left before, and they became closets after. But
okay.
So I have a lot of clothes, Loni. Is the bottom line.
Well, can you, why don't you do like a storage and put them in a nice storage unit and hang them up there and make it like a distant closet?
I thought about that, but then my business manager, because I'm very successful, he said to me, do not get a storage unit because, and this is going back to Kathy and financial, relevance and being financially responsible. He's like, do not get a storage because anyone who gets storage is literally paying second rent for something you're never going to go get. Like, I'm never going to get those clothes. Once they're out of sight, they're going to be out of mind, right? So
not necessarily. The only reason why I'm saying that is because when I was done with the reel, I had a lot of glamorous dresses, a lot of sequence gowns, things like that. And I have like a 2-bedroom, but of course I don't have enough room for them. But something told me, and then not only that, just outfits, just a lot of nice outfits because, production paid for the stuff, so you can afford it. And I just didn't want to depart with it.
Right.
And so what I did was I got just a little storage unit. And really, it has helped me because now when I get called like to do these game shows where you need 27 outfits,
right.
I go to get my, my clothes out of my distant storage. So it actually has helped me because then I don't go shopping for new stuff. I have stuff already. Or like, today I had to do a little cameo film thing and they were like, oh, we want you to be a red carpet host. And, I went to my distant storage and I found like a sequence jacket that was really nice. I'm just saying, as a performer and you being a person in the arts, a lot of times you get called to do, these last minute, maybe going to Kathy Griffin's house to have dinner.
How dare you? Too soon.
How much are you going to throw away? That's what I want to know.
Here's what I did. A couple of my girlfriends came over this weekend, and this is a shady thing, though, too, because my girlfriends, I love them, but we're going through my clothes, and I got good clothes, Loni. I'm just saying.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, we put all my clothes on the bed, right? And we went through, and we'd be like, oh, who wants this? All of them want that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, this is going to be good on you. And then like nothing was good on me. They're like, Erica, that you don't need this. It probably would fit me better. Or, oh, that Moschino dress, like, you know what? You've already worn that enough. Like, I'll take it. So like their shady bitches were taking my shit and like making it clear that I needed to move on from all of it. So I'm just a little suspect. But again, at the end of the day, I'm happy that I could give it to them versus like, just having it lay in my closet or lay on the floor, or lay in a bag, or lay in a storage without me enjoying it. So if they're going to enjoy it, I'm happy for that.
Okay. Well, how's your mama doing?
Oh, goodness. Well, of course, the Huxtables, we had brunch on Sunday. And this is more about Papa Huxtable than Mama Huxtable. Mama Huxtable is very happy with the hair. She's happy.
Yes, she's lovely.
And she loved last week's episode because she thought it was substantive, to use her words, because it was about women in the workplace, and she was a principal for many years, and women, so she was very, impressed that we used our words instead of cussing a lot. But Papa Huxtable was like, I'm like, Dad, did you listen to the podcast? And he was like, I listened to part of it. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I listened to some of it. I'm like, did you turn me off? Like, did you?
He's
pause?
Not our demo.
Did you pause?
He's not the demo.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's not our demo.
He's never been my demo, which is why, like, I grew up as a girl who like needs to be listened to, which is why I'm divorced twice. from my daddy not listening to me as a child. He used to put me on pause as a child too. So
I love it.
It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Well, we love Papa Huxtable.
We love the Huxtables.
We love Mama.
Yes.
We love everybody.
Can I just have one more little sidebar?
Of course.
Your lashes are mesmerizing.
Oh, really? You
Yes.
know, because I was on set today. So I rushed home and I was like, and I did this myself.
You look
another
gorgeous.
thing. Thank you. I just so sweet. You always look fabulous. So, you take a little bit of that shine off your forehead and you'll be all right.
I know.
But Yeah, and a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Mat it up, girl. Okay. Yeah, it was nice being back on set. Today. So
Now, what set were
supporting.
you on?
It was for a film called "Got Daddy Issues."
Oh, hello, perfect. I was just talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. It was written by 3 women, and they're producing it themselves. It's an independent. And they asked me to do a cameo, and of course, I'm going to support women. So it was really funny, and it was real quick. That's what I love about it.
Yes.
And
in and out.
It was in and out. So I'll be talking more about it as it gets finished, and we'll see what becomes of it. But we got to do something in this industry. You're the only person working. So. The only one working.
And it's ruining my social life. That's what we're talking about.
So while all of us are having dinner, you are working.
Yes. God damn it.
I tell you. Okay, we got a great episode for you all today. We are going to get into all sorts of stuff. This week is a really heavy week, but you know what? Grown-ass women, we can deal with this. So we're going to have some grown-ass women news. We'll be talking about the Emmys, Diddy's arrest, and so much more. We'll get Erica's take. We'll be right back. And you know what? Today's grown-ass topic, we're going to be joined by our friend, Kathy Griffin.
Your friend, not mine at this point. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Kathy.
She has your number.
Use it.
Today's grown-ass topic is financial independence. This is Grown-Ass Women Talking. Are you a grown-ass woman with something to say? What are you unapologetic about? What's got you fired up?
Are you thrilled the kids are back in school? Or are you mad at your friends for asking you out after 9 p.m.? Did you get stood up on your 3rd Tinder date this week? Whatever it is, let it all out.
Visit our website at GAWTpod.com and leave us a voice message. That's GAWTpod.com, or drop us a voice note at GAWTpod@gmail.com. We might just play your message on our next episode.
So don't hold back. This is your space to talk about it.
We're back with more GAWT. Now's the time for grown-ass news. Each week, I'll get Erica's take on the week's entertainment news, gossip, and current events, and news about grown-ass women. The 76 Primetime Emmy Awards happened, and you
76? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, 76.
Oh, boy.
76. It's getting there. And there were some grown-ass women winning Emmys. Jean
Yes.
Smart, our girl.
Woo!
Jean Smart. She won Best Actress for a comedy for her show, Hacks. I saw that you put a little congratulations to her.
I gave her a shout out because, first of all, I thought her speech was amazing in the sense that she was like the perfect, combination of gratefulness and also being funny. Like, she just tonally pitch perfect always. I love her.
And also Jodie Foster. She won for limited series. And these are all grown-ass women. And
100%.
What about our very special supporting woman, Liza Colon? What is it? Zayas. She's the first Latina to win a supporting Emmy in that category, and her speech was so moving. She also reminded us, make sure you guys vote for your rights. And she was really good. So to all the grown-ass women that won Emmys, but I want to ask you, because you are in this industry, Erica.
I am, but I was not nominated for an Emmy, unfortunately. But yes, go on.
That's okay. You still got time. Got time. But, there's this issue with The Bear. And The Bear in the Emmys is being a category of comedy. And they're winning a lot of comedy Emmys. So what is your take on that?
Well, first of all, I will just say I discovered The Bear. Nobody knew about it until I told everybody to watch it because I loved it from I loved it from jump. And you know me because you and I have worked together and developed together. So I love comedy that is grounded in drama. That's my thing.
Okay. All right.
But that's my thing. But I will say I think it's, gotten progressively less funny. And so, I do understand the controversy because when you're putting The Bear against any network comedy, none of them are getting nominated. There's no network comedies that are being nominated for Emmys right now. It's all gritty, single camera, cable streaming comedy. So network comedies are not getting any love, and so I think that that's what the disgruntled, nature is.
Well, you know what else too is because Jeremy Allen White is beating Martin Short and Steve Martin. People are like,
Yeah.
seriously? Like, how are you beating Steve Martin? He invented comedy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I think it does become an acting thing. I will say, full disclosure, I don't watch Murders in the Building, but I love The Bear, and Jeremy Allen White, he's so good. I mean, he's so good in that show, and I think
he's good, but it's
right.
not. It's
not comedic.
It's halting people like, for example, Tyler James. Tyler James is doing all he can to get an Emmy. This time he came to the red carpet with his arms and had his guns out, and it's like he still lost to The Bear. It's
but
like
he won a Golden Globe, didn't he? Won a Golden Globe.
Yeah, but he wants to win an Emmy. I mean, actually, they shut out Abbott Elementary completely. So yeah, Tyler James Williams. Thank you, Siege. I know his name. I just, how I get.
You know his guns more than you know his name.
Hey, he's trying.
You're distracted by the guns.
Anything else that you like? How about Shogun? Shogun won over a lot of people.
Listen, I've been trying to get in on Shogun because I know I will love it, but when you get home at the end of the day, or you get home on the weekend, you're really trying to read like subtitle. And if I go to a movie, I will read a subtitle. I'm down for that. I'm an educated woman. I'm into that kind of thing. But at home, like on a TV, I'm not trying to read, and I feel bad because I know I will love Shogun, but I can't do the reading. I'm not down for reading a novel at the end of the day. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
I mean, are you watching Shogun?
I can barely watch this podcast. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So
I can barely watch it.
Don't Shogun shame me.
Well, you know what I did like about the Emmys this year? I think they did spread it around. I was happy to see that the writers for Hacks, they won for Best Writing. It was funny because Lorraine Newman, who is a former Saturday Night Live player, her daughter is Hannah Embinder.
Exactly.
And Hannah was up for the Emmy, and she lost it to The Bear, which was Liza Colon. And then Lorraine tweeted out, I hate The Bear or something. And she quickly deleted it.
Well, people don't realize that's her daughter, but I saw her. I went to an event too, Lonnie, where she was performing, and she's very funny stand-up. She really is. So
Lorraine?
Hannah. Hannah does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How dare you? But I was invited to a red carpet myself.
No, you didn't tell me about it.
No, I didn't.
I don't.
Exactly.
Tell me about it.
Yes, I brought James with me. James was
God. He was taking all kind of pictures. Is that why all those pictures are on
Yes.
James
was
Erica. All right, moving on. It was a great Emmy, so we start fresh again, and we'll see. Maybe Papa's House will get.
I would love that. Well, did you see Damon was on the Emmys? He looked so handsome.
He did look handsome, but one of the reporters, when they did the report, they said, "Oh, they had the TV dads, Marlon Wayans and George Lopez." And I immediately retweeted it. I said, "That's Damon. That is not Marlon." That's what happens when you got a bunch of brothers. So
how dare they?
They corrected it though. So. Moving on to something a little more serious. I wanted to talk about it because of the situations that's happening this week. In France, there was a 72-year-old French woman who found out that for over 10 years, her husband has been drugging her to sleep and having, sexual assault. But not only that, other men have been doing the sexual assault. He invited other men to do it. It turns out that she didn't find out until her husband caught a case for taking pictures of under women's skirts and in a
Disgusting.
grocery store. She ended up having to go to the police, and the police ended up checking the husband's computer, and that's when he found all of these videos of the wife. The wife had no knowledge
Oh my
whatsoever.
God.
Like,
Wow.
what the husband would do is, like, he would, like, tell the men, he would meet the men, he would tell them to park like far away from the house. They would have to sometimes wait. Some of them waited up to 10 hours because he wanted to make sure that the drugs were like taking
What?
effect on his wife. She was knocked out cold. She did not realize that all this was going on. So when they brought her to the police station because he had caught this case, they asked her, they said, are you having sex with other guys? And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm a one woman man and all this other kind of stuff. And they said, well, we're going to show you something, and
Oh
it's
my
going to be
God.
disturbing. And they had to show her, and she was completely devastated.
Of course.
So right now in France, this trial is going on. She is in the process of divorcing him. She has had 4 sexually transmitted diseases that she
Oh
did
my
not know about
God. Are you
because she started getting herself checked out. But I want to say this. This is where she is a grown ass woman. She gave up her anonymity because she wanted to make sure that they could not victim blame. She wanted to make sure that other women would not have to go through what she is going through. And so they had they're starting the case, and the first day of the case, she got so much support from the people in this town that they basically, as she was walking in, she's 72 years old,
Jeez.
a nice looking woman, and they were giving her a hand clap. And it's that shock. She was been married to this man for over 50 years. He was saying that, he knew that he was sexually abused when he was younger, but he was able to keep it down. But then he says once the internet came up, it kind of made him get aroused again.
Please.
And that's when it all started. And dude, you should have got help. You know what I mean? You should have got help. So I just want to give her blessings. I want to give her prayers of healing. And this is what grown ass women do. They don't run away from their problems. They face it because they know that this could help another woman.
The fact that you have to go through so much to get divorced is crazy. Because, it should just be, oh, my husband raped me 50 times. That should be enough. The fact that you have to go through, court cases and years to justify getting divorced from someone who's been raping you is criminal on its own. Secondly, I think that, again, going back to the patriarchy, before men had the carte blanche to just have sex with her. There was no sense of raping your wife was not a thing. So when you were married, they could do whatever they wanted. So that's something that, again, is unfortunately instilled in our patriarchy. And so hopefully it's becoming reconciled.
We know today, this week, that we had the arrest of Sean P. Diddy Combs. He was in court this week. He was detained. He was denied bail and will remain in custody as he faces charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. A federal judge ruled. His lawyer said that after the hearing, they would appeal the decision. Combs also pled not guilty to other charges against him. Some of the charges, it's just horrendous. If you read what was in there, he's having these so-called freak-off parties where he is drugging women, and they also said people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was to the point where when they did their investigations, when they did that raid, they said they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant.
Okay. I have to go now. I'm out of this conversation.
And they have the video, and I'm like, it had its own room, it had its own room, just baby oil everywhere, bottles of baby oil, bottles of lubricant. It's just, and it's just disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because it's more than just him raping and drugging women. It's also about him blackmailing people and blackmailing them to do things that they probably would not have done if he hadn't had these videotapes of them and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Not only that, when you really think about what P. Diddy has done, he shaped music for a certain amount, for at least 20 years. He has shaped what music goes out, who becomes a star,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like when we sit back and we really think, you know, we say this type of music where we're talking about misogyny, where we're calling women bitches, where
Mm-hmm. And
we're
hoes.
talking about drugs, all of that. He was approving all of that. So
Of
you really
course.
got to think that he was allowed, because he was allowed to make that like the dominant music. But also think about all of the artists that just wanted to be artists, just wanted to do art, and their whole lives were changed because of this man. So it's more than just when people want to say he has shifted the whole culture when it comes to music, but he's also denied us certain artists that probably would have been phenomenal artists. And we're talking
Mm.
about in R&B, we're talking about in pop, we're talking about things just because maybe they didn't coincide with them. He didn't give the artists that he was so-called working with, he didn't even give them money.
Right.
So a lot of them, they weren't given their publishing, they weren't given anything. And this is the thing, karma never dies. No matter how
Absolutely.
old it is, karma never dies. So I'm
Listen.
just,
No, listen. To that point, I knew the minute he was like, "I'm gonna give everybody their royalties." I was like,
Oh, yeah, you knew.
"Oh, yeah, something's going down." Like he is not that magnanimous, and the idea that like he's gonna give all the people that he stole money from for years and years and years their money back, that was him trying to shut people up because shit has gone down. And again, I'm not surprised because I've never been to a Diddy party, thank God, but I've been to Hollywood parties, and I know, no names, but I know that things get weird. And I know there's a lot of people who were complacent, at the very least complacent in what he was doing. So
and we have to say that all of this is
allegedly,
have to say-
don't sue us, please. We have no
This is
money.
this is all being reported. He is currently being held without bail till he gets a trial. He also has the right to appeal.
Of course.
And so he has all of that. And there are stories, there will be witnesses. This is going to be a huge trial and things like that.
And he
But-
deserves his day in court. Nobody's condemning him, but we're just saying that this is like, this is what's out there. These guys have fought like they own women, and they're powerful, whether they're married or not. They feel like women are their property, and that's changing. Thank God.
But still, shout out to Cassie. For her to come forward, it kind of helped open up everything. There's so many allegations. There's so many
Yes.
stories about this dude that it's just that, okay, this is why we have a court of law. We have a court of
100%.
law. So everybody, you get your day. You can he's got the money for the attorneys. He's got the money to do what he needs to do. I mean, he really did not want to be denied bail. He gave up even his children's passports, even the 1-year-old. He said, okay, I'm letting you guys know I'm not a flight risk. And the judge was like, nope.
Yeah, no, because he's such a flight. He has too much money to keep him in America.
Our thoughts go out to all of the victims in this.
Yeah,
and
100%.
we hope that you can, come back from this. But on a lighter note, Shannon Sharpe admits to lying about not having sex when he was on live on Instagram. Okay, for those that maybe have been under a rock, Shannon Sharpe was on live, and you heard and saw all this grunting, and and it sounded like it was sex. And in the process of all this was maybe 6 minutes of this. Yes, I don't have a life, so I was listening.
You,
I don't
you
have
listen.
life.
You listen all 6 minutes.
Oh yeah, I was like, woo, woo, yeah. And then he started going, "That's my Shelly. That's my Shelly."
I
That's my,
mean,
I said, "Yes, Shannon." And so initially, because Shannon has, assistants, the assistant put out, "Oh, this is an alert. My phone was hacked. My team is going to find out vigorously who did this." It's like, yeah, we know who vigorously did it. And so the next day, he has this podcast called Nightcap with Ocho Cinco. He just straight up admitted, "Y'all, I don't know how I got on IG Live, but it happened. It was me. I can't deny it." And so everybody's been trying to figure out who is Michelle. Everybody's been trying to figure out, how did you get on IG Live? It takes 3 buttons to get on IG Live.
You know how he got on IG Live. This is the biggest
How? What
This
is
is the
it?
biggest humble brag ever. It's him
Okay,
being-
come on now.
It's like,
How did you get on IG Live though, Erica?
I think he put it on himself. It's like, look at how I get down. It's a humble brag. It's like, yeah, look at how I get down for 6 minutes, Lonnie Love.
I don't. You know what? I think he literally did not do that. I think he was probably taping. This is all alleged.
Okay,
This is what
okay.
I think. I think
this is
he
your
was
theory.
taping,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably hit the wrong button taping. So that's what I think.
I think
I'm
think that's what he tells his girl. It was
Oh,
a
Shelly.
baby, Shelly. It was a mistake.
Shelly.
Yeah,
Shelly.
meanwhile, he wants everybody to know that Shelly's getting,
Yeah, she
yeah,
getting it.
the
I was
Sharpe.
like, woo.
She's getting the Sharpe.
Let's play it again. Let's play it again. It was hilarious. But the nice thing is that because he did admit it and he apologized for it, he is with ESPN. And ESPN, that's Disney.
They don't play.
That mouse don't play. Mickey do not play.
No.
But it's been reported that he will not get any disciplinary actions, that they understand. He old. He hit them old football hands, hit the wrong buttons. They understand.
Oh, please.
Like, he's got the best of us. So, with that, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to jump into today's topic with our girl, Kathy Griffin.
Kathy!
Today's guest is a towering figure in television, on tour, and in publishing. The 2-time Emmy and Grammy award-winning comedian holds the Guinness World Record for the most televised stand-up funny-ass specials and has appeared on iconic shows like Seinfeld and Law and Order SVU. Known for her fearless humor and advocacy, Kathy continues to entertain and inspire through her live performances and activism. And she's also a badass cancer survivor. Now she's returning to the stage for the first time in over 6 years with her new stand-up tour, My Life on the PTSD List, celebrating resilience, humor, and the power of laughter to heal. Please welcome our girl, Kathy Griffin. Hello, Kathy.
Hey, I love you guys. What an awesome intro. Oh my God. I'm coming to your town. Go to kathygriffin.com for tickets. And I'm talking about everything from PTSD, which I have, but it's not like I don't even really mention Trump. I mean, if he does something particularly egregious that day, like eat a dog, I'll mention it. But other than that, it's a lot of stuff about PTSD and the wacky treatments I have, but there's still a lot of good, juicy celebrity gossip. And I get to play everywhere from the Wiltern in Los Angeles to Carnegie Hall to Boston Symphony Hall. So after the whole Trump photo fiasco where I was on the no-fly list and the Interpol list, I am just glad to be working and alive.
Well, can I just say, you look amazing.
Um,
So how are you feeling?
I have half a lung on my left side, you guys.
Honey. Oh.
I got lung cancer even though I never smoked, and they had to take out half of my left lung, so I'm a half a lung down. And then during the surgery, they injured my vocal cord, so it became paralyzed. And I talked like this for over 3
But you
years.
sound good too. Like, what have you done to bring your voice back?
Okay, so get this. It's a miracle of modern science. I have an implant in my left vocal cord and I'm back. Hello,
Yes,
Los Angeles.
Kathy,
Hello, New York.
full voice,
And
girl, go shout it out.
yes, it's like a boob job in my throat. So it's my only implant, but it's the one that counts. And I'm very grateful to the surgeon. And I got my voice back.
Which we need your voice.
Oh,
We
that's
need
nice.
your voice, especially now more than ever. I'm so glad you're back, and I'm so glad you're here for today's grown-ass topic. We're going to dive into financial independence. Until the Equal Credit Opportunity Act of 1974, a bank still had the legal right to refuse a woman a credit card based only on her being a woman. Until 1978, a woman could be fired from her job for getting pregnant. Until 1988, a woman without a male cosigner could still be refused business financing. We are only 50 years out from women legally being able to be financially independent, and it's a privilege that many will try to shame you away from. We're here today to talk about the importance and strategies of being and remaining financially independent. It's my money and I do what I want, and you don't need no man to carry or watch your purse. Kathy, you chose this topic.
I love this topic because I am only good at two things. I'm funny and I'm good with money. I have no debt. And after the Trump scandal, I did not work for 6.5 years. So, ladies, save your money. There's no shame in socking it away. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses and get, the jewelry or the watch or the car. Keep your money because I had a rainy day that lasted 6.5 years. And luckily, I've been saving and saving and saving. I lived in a studio apartment, rent controlled, for 7 years, socking money away, socking money away. And I have no debt. I bought my house cash because my good friend Susie Orman, remember Susie Orman?
Yes.
Girlfriend, you cannot afford that, denied.
Yes.
And so she has never steered me wrong. And she said, if you can't buy a house cash, then you cannot afford it. And I feel like we're in a time now where I don't feel like you should feel the pressure to own a home. Like I have mine because, like I said, I've been working for decades and I finally saved enough money. But when I hear younger people wanting to own a home at any cost, I really think this is a totally okay time to rent. I think it's smarter to rent unless, like I said, you can buy a house cash, but don't put yourself into debt. And remember, when you buy a house, everything that goes wrong is thousands of dollars. It's not like if something breaks, it's $25. So the joys of home ownership are a lot of bills and they keep coming. And it can appreciate in value, and that's all well and good, but there's no shame in renting.
Well, I also think that, to that point, I think things, especially in LA, have changed so much. I mean, the economy it's really hard to own a home here.
And the rents are insane in LA, so keep looking for a good rent. And if you get one, don't move.
No, I recently, because, again, we had a strike out here and I was in a home. I was married and then I got divorced, but I stayed in the home because I got divorced right before COVID. So I would have normally sold the house then. But I'm like, oh, I'm going to hang here. I'm going to have my little COVID crew. And it was lovely. But, the strike happened. And I'm like, why am I living this big old house by myself? So I end up selling my house and now I downsized to a 1-bedroom apartment. I mean, granted, it's fancy, but still.
Doesn't that make you feel more secure?
100%. It was too much. I was doing the most. So now it's I have a concierge. If I want to throw my trash out, I just put it outside of my door and they come and get it. That's the life. Yeah. So it's like living in a hotel. So I'm just saying, to your point, home ownership is lovely if you're going to have a family, and
it's not what it used to be.
But it's not
especially if you can rent a place where you have a good super or they actually fix the stuff.
Yes.
Do not ever move. Just sock the money away, and the market will change. Obviously, the home market.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now, it's not a smart time to buy. Right. I don't think.
No, it was a great time to sell for me. It was a really good time to sell. So I'm happy. I have a little nest egg
for you, Kathy. There are a lot of women that that look up to you, that listen to you, what were some of the key financial decisions you made early in your career that contributed to your financial independence?
Well, first of all, my philosophy has always been take every single job. So, yes, later on I did a show called My Life on the D List because it's not very A-list to do anything, but it's smart to do anything. So, I have always taken every single job, whether it pays me a little, medium, or a lot, and like I said, sock it away. And you know, I learned a tough lesson about giving money away because when I started making money when I got on a situation comedy, I was making more money than I could have imagined. And I went from being broke for so many years. I didn't get a break in television until I was 36, which is late in Hollywood years. So I gave a lot away to charities and friends. And I'm going to be honest, that was not good. And my pal Susie Orman, who used to have the Susie Orman show, if you remember on CNBC, girlfriend, you are denied. You cannot afford that yacht, and she gives common sense advice. She's still my pal. And I found that when I gave money away, if it was to someone I knew, it almost like it was bred resentment from them and it made the relationship change. And I never loaned money. I would either give someone money or nothing because I didn't want to be like asking my friends for money back. And it's not that I don't do that sometimes. And there's a few people that I won't name that I help out in this world. But I also feel like when you're a woman, we have so much less job security than guys, especially since we're all at entertainment. Nobody has job security, but especially women. I'm 63.
What?
You look great.
You look amazing.
Well, it's a lot of eyelashes. But yeah, and by the way, stay in shape if you can because our insurance is okay. I lost my insurance because of being canceled, but I do Cobra. So insurance is okay, but I'm going to say something controversial. Insurance is a criminal enterprise. Yes, I said it. They never really are there for you when you get sick in this one area, but then they'll be there in an area where you don't need it. So even medical bills and women that have kids, like I said, save, save, save. It's okay to live in a modest place, drive a modest car, as long as you're socking it away because you never know when you need it. And being in debt is just a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
So if you pay off your student loans, as painful as it is because the interest rate is so high, but hopefully President Kamala Harris will have the House and the Senate and we can have real student loan debt forgiveness because sorry, I'm on a tangent, but just remember, it's not just about Kamala Harris. She can't do anything if we still don't have the House. And people forget, we lost the House of Representatives in the last midterms. We barely have the Senate because I don't count Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. So remember to vote blue down ballot if financial issues matter to you and if you're a female, because the Republican Party holds nothing for you if you're a female. And whatever tax breaks they're bragging about are for people like Elon Musk.
That's true. You know what? I want to go back to the loaning of money because I owe Erica money.
Yes.
Mommy, how could you? She's so sweet. What is it for like $700,000?
Listen.
It's like millions. But seriously, how do you tell family members? Like, because I know with you being on TV for so long, being so successful, how do you handle that with family members and telling them, hey, hey, I got to back off?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. And Lonnie, you and I have known each other for so long. It's hard for me to admit this, but when it comes to family members, it ended up not working out for me. I used to just literally just give them a check on their birthdays and for Christmas and just say, here you go. Maybe you can help pay off your house or, like I said, a student loan debt. And I said, I can only do this if I've had a good year. So I happen to have a really good, and this is when I was on My Life on the D List, and I was touring, and I was playing the Universal Amphitheater, which used to be here in Los Angeles, and I was playing like 3,500 seaters where you can really make a good buck. And I gave some of that money to friends, and I found, oh, this is not going to sound good, but many times I gave money to folks that then didn't use it for what they told me they were going to use it for. So I have to say this one just because it's funny, and I do believe you have to laugh at everything. But my dear departed sister who passed away, she said she was going to pay off her condo, and instead she went to Orange County and got a facelift and a chin job. I was like, Joyce, that money, you said you were going to pay off the condo. And she's like, I know, but I wanted a facelift.
But I'm
And I,
not mad at that.
I know. And then I laughed because something went wrong with her chin job, and then it started free floating down in her chin area. And then she had to pay to get it remounted.
Oh no.
So I'm just saying what I did with my mom and dad was obviously I didn't want them to have any bills. So I bought them a condo, but in my name. I bought them a car, but in my name. So it was just like giving it to them, and they didn't have to worry about any of the bills. But, when my parents, got older and passed away, my dad lived to 90, my mom lived to 99.
God bless them.
It was better that it wasn't in their name because, frankly, they would have just been taking out mortgages and giving the money to the rest of my siblings. Also, God love my parents, but they were raging alcoholics. And when you drink several boxes of wine a day, you don't make the best financial decisions.
I know that.
Do you think, Kathy, as a woman, that puts us in a vulnerable place financially? Because we are so giving and because we do have means, people come to us and expect us to help them out. I mean, men say no, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why can't we say no?
We can't say no because, first of all, there's a part of me that thought I didn't deserve to have money. And I was broke for so long, I didn't know what to do with it. And I was so stupid that I thought if I could ever amass $50,000, I would never need another penny the rest of my life. Well, that is not the case. And while $50,000 is a lot to have in savings, when you get down to brass tacks, and like we were talking about, rent prices today, insurance prices, car prices, car insurance. If you're a small business owner, which I am, you've got employees, you're insuring the employees. And so you almost can't save enough. And that just means being prudent. It doesn't mean you're cheap. You can splurge once in a blue moon, but that stuff isn't going to make you feel good as not having debt. And I think that should be a goal for every woman because, like you said, the guys have no bones about it. They are just absolutely not, can't do it. And they stay besties and they still high five and they still are in each other's fantasy football club. With women, we feel like, well, one of my girlfriends got pregnant and she didn't mean to, so she needs help. And, not always necessarily helping that person because then it gives them a false sense of entitlement. And in my experience, back in the day when I used to give money to quite a few people, number one, they didn't pay it forward. Like I thought, well, if I helped them get debt free, then they could turn around and help one of their friends or relatives. And I just found that giving money to people, you have to be very, very careful. Now, I'm also not a parent, so I'm not speaking for parents, but I will say, on the other hand, being able to financially take care of my mom and dad and put my mom in a really beautiful retirement home when it was time, that gave me the greatest satisfaction of having money. It's your money. You earned it. I told a lot of dick jokes to earn that money. My money never earned money. I'm not a brand. I don't sell products. I don't have a makeup line like Selena Gomez. I'm boots on the ground. Unless I'm out there like I am right now doing 60, 70 cities a year, joke after joke after joke, that's the only way that I bring money in. So it's okay to be careful about it. And like I said, when you have no job security, don't be giving it away to relatives. And no, they're not going to take it well. I've had relatives turn on me. I've had relatives expect more. I've been confronted by relatives that think I don't deserve money. I've had them tell me I was just lucky, it wasn't from hard work.
What?
But look, I'm 63. I've been doing well in the business for 30 years. Prior to that, I didn't make a dime for 20. But it does engender resentment from relatives. And I'm sorry to say that, but that is something that I personally have experienced. And it's hard. So if you can just be like the dudes, they can compartmentalize. And somehow they still keep those relationships with their relatives because they're not emotional about it.
Exactly. Could I ask you one more question? Loni, do I have permission? This is a follow-up.
They say Barbara Walters. This is a follow-up.
I've been doing my research. Now that you're a grown-ass woman, do you feel more worthy of your money?
Yes, because I worked so hard for it. Because look, I've done more specials than any comedian, male or female, living or dead. I wrote every single word of those. I am not someone who does specials that other people write, which, by the way, I think is cheating. I'm not someone that does crowd work and brings people on the road with me to go out in the crowd and write the jokes ahead of time, which a certain comedian is doing right now, which I also consider to be cheating.
Who are you talking about?
Me.
I'm just saying,
Come on.
when you play Carnegie Hall, you don't do crowd work. It's not a club. They're sitting there, they're dressed up, and I don't want them to have any responsibility but to have fun and laugh. But I do one indulgence that is embarrassing, but I'm going to admit it because I did an interview in the Hollywood Reporter and they put it in there. So after I got cancer, I decided that on tour, I only am going to fly private.
Yes, Kathy Griffin.
It's not smart financially, but after all these decades of just schlepping to airports and doing every city you never heard of and doing corporate gigs where I'm bombing and doing shows where I swore too much and pissed off people and getting fired from CNN and all the Trump scandal and Trumpers coming up to me and threatening me constantly.
Jesus.
And pushing, like one guy pushed me and on the sidewalk, like he was so angry. I just went, you know what? This is my one indulgence. And the other thing is, there's nothing wrong with being charitable. Like I've given $25,000 to the Kamala Harris campaign so far. Now I want to give to the down ballot. Because, like I said, if she wins, we don't want an Obama John Boehner situation again, where Boehner blocking everything Obama wanted to do. So now I'm going to give my money to the down ballot races. There's also nothing wrong with having, and you must have this, a living revocable trust. You must have one right now, especially if you're a woman. You can go on Susie Orman's website and get it for either free or almost nothing. I am not paid by her in any way. She really cares about women and money. But get a living revocable trust, even if you think, oh, I don't have assets, you do. And I am a big believer in making charitable donations for after you pass away. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm 63. I've had cancer. I've had, whatever. And so I can give the money away now, but let's say my cancer comes back and I need a caregiver, then I want to be able to afford that because I've so I have in my trust a bunch of money that goes to Planned Parenthood, a bunch of money that's going to go to Doctors Without Borders. Pick your charity, give it to your family members that way. But it's your money. Enjoy it while you're still on this earth. We're not here forever.
And that's the thing when you talk about trust. What are some other types of investments that you found beneficial in building your financial portfolio?
Real estate. And like I said, I like owning my house outright because I don't want to give the banks interest. The banks are doing just fine. They're not always on the up and up, in my opinion. I'm diversified, but because of my age, I'm conservative. I highly recommend not playing the market. If I was younger, I'd be riskier and I'd trade more, but I have a third of my money in cash, a third in stocks and bonds, and a third in real estate.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, my dad's a real estate guy. And again, growing up in LA was always like, buy property. It's like putting money in the bank.
Well, if you can flip a house, that's different. I can't. I'm not good at that. Like, that's what I love about the gays, honey. They will take an entire city. Those gays took Palm Springs.
I mean, I love the gay.
West Hollywood right now, yeah.
They made West Hollywood a separate city with its own mayor.
Right.
And so don't start me with the lesbians. Those lesbians can flip out in a week.
Oh my God. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres is a billionaire because of flipping houses. Yeah, 100%.
A billionaire with a B. So the only reason I don't play the real estate game is that I'm not good at flipping houses. But those are good investments if you can flip a house cheap.
But even just having real estate, like for me, like having my house for 10 years, I sold
Yeah.
it for like a lot more than I bought it for.
Yeah.
So that was
Good
like,
girl.
yeah, but I'm just, so even like owning a house yourself and living in it for 10 years and
Yes.
then selling it, it's going to appreciate. In LA especially, it's never going to go down.
Absolutely. And I bought a house in Malibu for the same reason. It's got an ocean view.
I love
It's
Malibu.
not on the beach, but it will never lose value because
Exactly.
I keep it up beautifully. I don't ever want stuff to be broken or look bad. And so eventually, although I don't know if I ever want to move from this house, but
You should
if I
never
did,
leave Malibu. Never.
you guys, I love it so much down here. And when I got sick, I just have an ocean to just look at it calming. And I have 2 acres, which is unheard of in LA. And so my doggies can run around. But anyway, a living environment I think is really important. So even though I'm talking about doing nothing but socking money away, I do think if you can afford the rent of a place that makes you happy, where you want to wake up every day, and I don't care if it's one window that has a great view, it's like a selling point for you, work to live in that place as long as it doesn't break you financially.
You know, this is nice that you two rich bitches are talking about investment. Real quick,
Now let's go back to her.
let's come back to the young woman who may be just starting her job, or she's gotten a nice little sum of money. What do you suggest to her?
Same thing, get a roommate if that'll help you save money, especially because even getting an apartment in LA or New York is just impossible, even if you've got a nice little job. And when you're doing that job, try to make yourself irreplaceable.
My mom always told me, have your own money, sock it away. God forbid you have to leave your husband, because my parents have been married for 100 years like yours were.
Same.
But it was like cautionary tale. I'm with him because he's got all the money. But you need to have your own money so you can escape. I've been divorced twice, and no one's taken my money.
My first husband embezzled from me.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah, and I'm going through a divorce now, and they tell me it won't be finalized for another 2 months. And I just think it's odd that the government gets to decide whether or not you stay with someone. And women so often are in situations where they're with a guy who's abusive, either verbally, physically, psychologically, emotionally. And then the government's like, no matter what, it will take you 6 months before you're divorced. And, you know, I know a lot of women that are in that situation. And for those 6 months, the guys get more abusive. And so
Absolutely.
anything, you know, so you have to have a prenup.
That's what I was going to ask.
No matter what. And I don't know where to, I wish I could tell you where to go online to get one for free, but I'll bet there's somewhere online.
Yeah.
And if the guy won't sign a prenup, I'm telling you, do not marry him. Those days are over where we think the guy's going to be the one with all the money and the woman's going to need the money. She's going to suck him dry. Not in my case. Role reversal. And so that's becoming more common. So get a prenup and get a living revocable trust and protect yourself, ladies. Because even if you don't have money today, you might have money tomorrow and you want to be ready.
How about just don't get married? Like Lonnie's not married. She has the best relationship ever, and she's not married.
I do want to say, I think marriage works if you put the right things in place, like what you're saying, Kathy, is have the prenup, have the understanding,
Yep.
have your own investments. Do you believe marriage, you should
Yes.
have your own bank account?
Everything should be in your name. Don't do any dual accounts. Don't do any dual credit cards. Everything should be in your name.
Definitely. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today before Erica says something else. Listeners, check out My Life on the PTSD List, traveling across the country through 2025. Go and support this wonderful woman. Show and ticket info are available at kathygriffin.net.
Griffin!
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah. She's the worst at names.
I know.
You have to watch the
Kathy
show.
Griffin.
Oh my God, I'm still on the D list. I'm still being called Kathy Griffin. It's kathygriffin.com, for God's sake. And I have known this woman for
Everybody
decades.
know your
I
damn
have known
name,
you for
Kathy. Go
decades.
to kathygriffin.net. We'll be right back with Lonnie's Takeaway. This is Grown Ass Women Talking. I love it.
Oh my God, how insightful was Kathy Griffin?
Man, this is why, we made this podcast. We made this podcast because we want to give something as grown-ass women to other women, and to have a guest on like her who has endured, starting up with nothing to be able to, come to the heights of wealth. It's just the information that she gave was just, it was just wonderful. I just want to maybe kind of surmise some of the things that she says. First, she says, save. I believe in that so much. Also, we didn't get to the fact of, you need to find you some good financial help, even if it's just an accountant or a bookkeeper. Find someone that is going to, once you start making money, help you keep track of your money. Also, make sure you pay your taxes.
Oh God, yeah.
Them
Don't
taxes,
forget
when you
that.
start making money and if you're opening up a business or you're doing something, that's why you need a really good bookkeeper or an accountant or a business manager, because taxes, you might as well, you have to save a third of whatever you're gonna make.
A third,
the whole
half. I mean,
well, that's a third. You need some write-offs. Okay?
I know. I do. I'm gonna write you off.
Yeah, this whole thing could be a write-off for you.
Yes, I'm right.
You the head of household when it comes to me and you.
100%.
You can
100%.
a $6,000 cash child tax break with my
Can you
ass,
send me your
okay?
receipts? Can you send me your receipts, please? Thank you.
Say your receipts. Also, we didn't talk about the point of credit. When you're getting credit and you're using credit cards, there are now cash backs on credit cards. There are points on credit cards. Use all of that, because, it may not seem like, it's any amount of money, but over time, those cash backs and things like that really help you to save money. Use your points.
Can I say something about that? It's funny.
Can I finish?
Yes,
the
please.
sentence?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I will say we're talking about younger women and like what they're doing financially. I think that they're doing better. Like my makeup artist was here this morning because I needed to get glam. And she was talking about exactly that. She was like, I just paid off all my credit cards. And she's like 25 or something, or maybe like under 30. And so I was like, you did? Like, I mean, I have not. And so she was saying, yeah, I looked at all the statistics and like which card I'm going to start charging on now because I can get, miles and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, good for you, girl. You know what I mean? The next generation, I think, coming up is really, learning that credit is not the end all be all. That's
Exactly. And I think if you go back and you listen to some of the things that Kathy was saying, you have to save for a rainy day. Things happen in our life, and we think that it doesn't. Like I said, recently my mom just passed, and we had the proper things, policies, we had savings, so that I didn't have to do a GoFundMe. I didn't have to, do a gas station, a car wash.
My car wash, yeah.
And nothing's wrong with that. If you have to, you have to. Nothing's wrong with a GoFundMe. I'm saying that while you can plan certain things plan and save so that then when those things happen, you can, you can grieve properly.
Absolutely.
And also the loaning of the money, making sure that you're covered in your marriage, making sure that your children are covered. Save something for them. While when I think what I do as an auntie, I give a savings bond to all
Oh, that's
of my
nice.
nieces and nephews, and I just leave it in the bank. I ain't told they mamas, because
So that's where all my money is going.
all your money is going to the boo boos. Okay. So
Mm.
this is what we do. And that is our, financial independence is something that we as American women, we're fortunate to have. And we can live the type of life that we want to live. We can take the trips. We can, help people. It's a wonderful thing. So with that said, Erica, any final words?
You're gonna give me a chance to speak. Thank you.
Yes, now's your time.
Everything you said is on point. I want to bring it down to like the basics. My dad always says this. There's 3 things that are important. Family is first, then health, and then money. And Kathy, I'm so happy that, clearly she's helped her family. Thank goodness her health is doing better. And have you seen the girl's house in Malibu? I mean,
oh yeah, I've been there.
Yes. Okay. So
awesome.
she's doing well. But I mean, I'm so happy that she's healthy, because that's all that matters. At the end of the day, you can't take it with you, as she was saying. And so I hope she lives 100 years to enjoy the Malibu sunsets.
I love that. And you know what? Make sure y'all check her out, support her, go to one of her comedy shows.
I'm going to go for sure.
Definitely. We'll go together. You'll buy the tickets. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Grown Ass Women Talking. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at GAWTpod. Thanks again to Kathy Griffin for joining us. Check out her tour, My Life on the PTSD List. See you all next week.
Bye. Love to everyone. Grown Ass Women Talking is a collaboration between True Love Productions, Dunnigan Lane Productions, and Heart Media Productions. Our executive producers are Lonnie Love, Erica Montalfo, and Siege Pokinghorn.
This episode was produced by Siege Pokinghorn and edited by Nicholas Crawford. Our music is by Cole Curtis. Special thanks to Elizabeth Munch